Is it unrealistic, abnormal to request that a long-term partner keep wearing a condom every time? The truth is that I don't want to go on birth control. Hormonal birth control has a lot of side effects and IUDs are extraordinarily painful. Compared to those, I feel that a condom is a relatively small sacrifice. I've talked to friends about this, and they've told me that my request is highly abnormal. Apparently, using condoms in a long-term relationship is odd, because the woman should be taking care of things on her own by then. In fact, a few guys have told me that the benefit of being in a long relationship is no more condoms. Am I in the small minority here? The last thing I'd want to do is ruin a relationship by being too demanding. What are y'all's experiences? Men are super welcome to comment as well. I'm married and still use a condom. Because when my then girlfriend told me all of the side effects her birth control pills were giving her, it seemed really fucked up that she was dealing with all that when something simple will fix the problem. I'm confused what taking care of things on their own means in this context. Like birth control in a long-term relationship is entirely the woman's responsibility. No, it's not. The woman should be taking care of things on her own by then. Birth control is not only up to the woman. Condoms are easy to use and affordable. You are 100% in the right to ask he wear one every time. Even in a long-term relationship. You do not have to seek other methods if you do not want to. Any guy who doesn't respect that doesn't deserve you. The only abnormal thing is your friends thinking you should sacrifice your comfort for a relationship. I have been married for over 20 years and we use condoms. I prefer not to take birth control and many women do not enjoy the side effects of birth control. I don't think it is unusual at all. I've had really nasty reactions to birth control, so my doctor won't even let me try new ones. My partner and I have used condoms for 20 years together. I don't think it is odd. This is not unrealistic or abnormal at all. My so suggested trying birth control and she didn't like it. So we went back to condoms. She said it was because she didn't like the side effects or the routine of taking medicine every day when she wasn't sick. It's her body. A few guys have told me that the benefit of being in a long relationship is no more condoms. How romantic. I've been with my boyfriend for 4.5 years and we still have a box of condoms in his nightstand. We've brought up the possibility of getting something more permanent done to one of us but haven't acted on it yet. Pregnancy just doesn't stop happening after you've been with someone a certain amount of time. Lol. It's up to both of us to prevent pregnancy. Not just the woman. It takes two and all that jazz. Don't agree with your friends. Whether it's pills, condoms, IUDs, etc. There is no one size fits all to a relationship. Do what works for you. It's you and your partner who will have to make the decision about a child or not. Not your friends. Whether it's very common or not. There are plenty of couples out there who rely on condoms for birth control in long-term relationships. If it's what is best for you, then a partner that respects you will respect that as well. I used condoms for nearly all of my 20-year relationship. We stopped after a vasectomy. Whether or not it's unusual is irrelevant. 11 years with my guy and we always use a condom. Woman shrugging. Pancake flip. Is it unrealistic to request that a long-term partner alter their hormonal balances and undergo minor procedures just so you don't have to wear a condom? It seems ludicrous when you realize that women are asked to alter their bodies just so men can Experience a few minutes. For the people in the back of unsheathed pleasure. Especially when we know they'll still climax when using a condom. If caring about your reproductive and sexual health is too demanding to a guy, that guy ain't worth it. No. My husband and I used condoms for 15 years. Until he got a vasectomy. It's a perfectly valid choice. I would say that if you are the person in your relationship who risks getting pregnant, then the absolute minimum you should be able to expect from a partner is that they will do whatever you ask in order to reduce that risk and keep you safe. That's just basic decency and common sense. And the fact that our culture likes to frame it differently should not distract you from the fact that you are really not asking for a lot. And anyone who thinks differently can fuck right off. If they can't accommodate you on this very basic request, I wouldn't trust them on anything else either. Every time for me, I use pills. But they only have a 93% effective rate with normal use. That's too low for my liking. So condoms are always a must as well. Just remember that 50% of pregnancies are surprises. You are not being demanding. Your friends are crazy. No, absolutely not. Aside from that, don't let anyone ever tell you that how you feel safe and comfortable having sex is unreasonable or abnormal or unrealistic. If a guy wants to have sex with you, then he has to be willing to do it in the way that makes you feel safe. If he doesn't want to do those things, then he doesn't get to have sex with you. Pretty simple. Hi. We've been married for 7 years now. I always wear a condom. Well, except when we decided to conceive our 2 daughters. But outside of that, yeah. Perfectly reasonable request. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. My wife is on birth control. Still use condoms. We've been together for 13 years. I don't want a surprise kid. Simple as that. Another married man chiming in to say we used condoms for years. My partner and I have been together 9 years. I'm on the pill, but we still use condoms. He has never questioned me on this. Birth control isn't bulletproof. I've been married for 5 years and we still use them. And won't stop until we come to a final decision on kids. Then he's getting the snip. It's pretty misogynistic to expect the woman to deal with it all. And alone. You're both doing it. You're both responsible. Your friends have absolutely shit opinions and some internalized misogyny. What works for you is what's best. If your partner can't take 3 seconds and put a condom on to make you feel comfortable, you should leave them. Condoms are the least invasive form of birth control. And I would honestly be caught off guard if someone said they'd rather get on the pill or an implant. I've heard horror stories about both from almost everyone who has them. Asking your partner to wear a condom is safe sex 101. Nothing about it is weird. I'm married and if I want a condom he wears one. No matter the reason. We've been together 20 years. Not a single balk in all that time. The only weird thing is that your friends think it's cool that you suck it up and deal with side effects you don't want just so a dude can go bare. That's weird. My partner had bad reactions to birth control. So I just wore condoms until eventually having a vasectomy after the birth of our child. I didn't think anything of it. There's nothing abnormal about not wanting to take a drug that fucks up your hormones every day of your life so that your partner can feel a tiny bit more sexual pleasure for a minute or two a couple times a week. What's abnormal is thinking that's a reasonable and fair arrangement.